What up, what up, what up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a review of Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 7, Episode 10. So if you haven't seen the 10th episode of Season 7 of Tyler Perry's Sistas, uh, yeah, turn this video off. Go watch the episode and come back and watch this video. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is an easy and free way to support me. It supports me more than you know. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss out when I post. And I'm not a public speaker, so I will tend to fumble my words. You will hear me say, so, like 1,000 times. I may stop to regain my thoughts. I may slow my speaking down to regain my thoughts. I'll be looking at my notes that I take over here throughout the show. And anything I say, it's my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. And comment below what you would grade this episode, what you thought of this week's episode of Sistas. If I forget anything or I'm off on anything when I talk about this episode, let me know in the comments. That's what you guys are here for, to remind me. And, yeah, just to give your honest thoughts and opinions on everything that I talk about, too. And I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. I'm going to grade this episode a C+. This episode was mid. Like, they just keep turning... I mean, we already knew Gary was a Mitch, but it's just like... Every time we turn around, Gary got some extra shit to him. But this episode didn't give really nothing. I enjoyed this week's episode of Ruthless more than I did Sistas. I can't wait to get into Ruthless. Child, Ruthless was good this week. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna grade it a C+. And, yeah. Last chance. This is Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 7, Episode 10. So if you have not seen that episode, turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. For y'all that have been watching my reviews all week, I know I burnt my arm and I just peeled it. So now it's like pink. Like pink, like the pink. I gotta put Neosporin on this joint every day until my skin come back, and then I can start putting cocoa butter on it. But yeah, I ain't want y'all to be seeing me moving my arms and be like, what is that on her arm? Yes, I burnt myself. I am a clumsy bitch. Okay. So the episode begins with Sabrina. She calls Andy to check on her about the Jordan situation. And of course, Andy's happy to announce that Jordan is innocent. So then Sabrina tells Andy she's going to be starting her IVF process today. And, yeah, she has to start taking the injections today. And then she tells Andy that she also has the interview for her to be branch manager today. So Andy wishes her luck, and she's like, I need some luck too because I'm meeting with a new client today. And she's talking about Marie, the billionaire. So then Andy suggests that they hang out later. Sabrina's like, okay, I'll text the other ladies. And then Jordan comes in, kisses Andy. They end the call. Then we get this news broadcast stating that they may have found the home of where Jordan has been staying at. So Andy and Jordan, so Andy's like, that's my house, that's my building. So they looking at Andy's building on the screen. I just lost where I was at. Oh, and then the news states that the woman that accused Jordan fabricated her story. And Jordan and Andy, they let out a sigh of relief, and they get back to getting down, making out. So then we get this scene at Fatima's house. Fatima is trying to appease to Michael because he's special needs, and she's trying to appease to him while she also looks for her phone. That little boy getting an easy check. He ain't got to do nothing but just fake play with toys. Because he ain't talking. We ain't heard him talk since this character been introduced. So Zach comes over. He's complaining about how much Michael's therapy is costing them, and about the double child support that he's going to have to pay with Karen. And paying for Fatima's school. And Fatima's like, oh, you don't have to worry about I can pay for school. I was like, why did Zach think he had to? I mean, I get it. This is fiance. He wanted to provide for her, so the obvious would be for him to pay for her school. But if she can pay for her own tuition, she know you got the kid's situation to deal with right now. So Zach's like, oh, I gotta get my paper up. That started making me think like, Zach, don't go do no dumb shit just to make a quick buck. So then Fatima tells Zach, oh, I gotta go get ready for work. I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late coming home tonight. She tells him. So then she goes upstairs, and then Zach calls Gary. And I was like, nigga, I just said don't do no stupid shit for a quick buck. But it wasn't as stupid as we thought. So, and I'm like, how does Zach not know that Gary's being investigated by the feds? Why didn't Fatima I mean, I know they got a lot going on, but why wouldn't Fatima bring that up to him? Why doesn't he know that? Especially since I found out this episode that he invested money with Zach. I remember them talking about it, but I didn't know he actually did it. So, when Zach calls Gary, Gary doesn't answer. Then we get a scene at Karen's salon. She gets a call from someone trying to buy Pam's product. And I'm like, okay, Karen, keep bullshitting. Like, it's seeming like Pam can make you some money. But Karen's like, oh, no, you don't have to talk to Pam about that. And Pam arrives, and she's like, I heard you tell your mom you're having twins. So Karen's telling Pam, like, you need to stop selling your products out the shop and before you get me shut down or sued, and tells her she needs to get a license for her own business. So then Karen, she goes into her office. She starts talking to her babies. When she gets a call from the hospital and the nurse is telling her that the doctor found something. I don't remember the name of it. Don't even get me started on what the name was. Says that she needs Karen to come in. Says the babies are fine, but she wants Karen to come in. And I'm assuming it's probably to tell her that she got 2 baby fathers. Whatever. So Sabrina, she waits nervously in the conference room, and then I can't remember what this woman's title is, the lady India. Is she like the hiring manager or shit? Either way, she's like she's above Sabrina, basically. So she comes in and says that a coworker, which we all know is that white bitch that Sabrina working with Paige, says a coworker expressed concerns about Sabrina's leadership. Then she says that given what's happened, you know, Sabrina and the whole allegations and all. Ooh, excuse me. Sabrina and all the allegations, she's like, considering what happened and whatever, Sabrina should understand. So Sabrina's like, well, actually, I don't understand. I've worked hard to show how reliable I am, and I was proven innocent against the allegations against me. And then India, she tells Sabrina that she appreciates all her hard work and that there's also room for growth. There is room for growth, but it has to be fair to the staff. So Sabrina, she starts chuckling and she's like, this is bullshit. So she goes on some more about how hard she's worked and in the position, even when she was kicked to the curb by them because of the false allegations. She tells India, I appreciate you getting me my job back, but I deserve this position, basically, she says, or whatever. She says the job is owed to me. So India's like, okay, I will let you know. That's still sounding like we like when a job tell you we get back to you. Usually, you know, 50-50 chance they're gonna actually get back to you. So next scene at Andy's firm, Fatima comes to Andy's office. They talk a little briefly about Jordan's innocence. Then Fatima tells Andy that Maria's here, and Andy's like, oh, she's early. Well, send her in. And before Fatima could even go get her, Marie's already at the door. She's like, you know I don't like waiting. It's like, okay, bitch, we give you a billionaire, but you ain't got to be stuck up too. So Marie, she comes in Andy's office. She daps Andy up like our boy dodged the bullet, talking about Jordan. So then she says to Andy, we have a problem because your professionalism has come into question, and it's come to my attention that you are a loose woman. She said, I'm not judging you. She says, but there's a lesson to be learned to never shit where you eat. She tells Andy that. So Andy's like, oh, I will show you how professional I am, and I will get you every penny that you deserve. And Marie's like, and the pennies that I don't deserve. She says, I want it all. I want it now. So she tells Andy, I believe that you're going to do what you say you're going to do, and I'm officially making you my counsel. Side note, did y'all notice that Andy got I noticed these two dimples she had in the back of her face. I'm like, is she doing stuff to her face? Her face do look different. It look like she doing something to her face. She had these two dimples all the way in the back of her face, right here. And I was just looking like, what is that? So Marie tells Andy, I'm officially making you my counsel, and she says, along with the co-counsel. And Andy's kind of thrown off. She's like, I assure you, I'm the best attorney you at this firm. So Marie's like, oh, we'll see. And she gets up to leave, opens the door. Of course, Hayden's there, trying to make an introduction again. She brushes him off. So then she leaves, and Hayden, he brings up the co-counsel to Andy. Says, you could just give me the case. Just give me the case full out. And he's like, over my dead body. Hayden's like, oh, you really trying to make my day with that? I think it was just buddy talking about Gary and stuff, and now they back to beef. It is so, I don't know. So Andy tells Hayden to go to hell. Hayden's like, oh, when I make partner, hell will seem like a paradise to you. So we get this next scene at Rich's little smoothie shop or whatever. Danny's there with Tony and his kids, but Tony's in the bathroom. And Danny tries to talk with the kids, but they all in their phones or whatever. So then Danny snatches their phones from them. I'm like, girl, you don't even know them like that to be doing that. So she snatches their phones, tells them that she wants them to start over and be friends. And the little boy's like, well, our friends usually get us gifts like virtual games and baseball tickets. And Danny's like, okay. And the little girl's like, and our friends let us wear each other's jewelry like that necklace you got on. And Danny's like, no, you're not getting my necklace. Then Tony comes back out, all smiling, giddy, sits by his kids, and Danny just feels obligated and takes her necklace off and slides it over to the little girl. Then Rich comes over, like, hey, Uncle Rich, and says to Danny, oh, you let her get you. Telling Danny she let the little girl get her for a necklace. So Rich, he grabs the kids, takes them somewhere, whatever. Tony thanks Danny for coming out with him and the kids, and Danny's like, oh, my therapist is going to get an earful from me, and you're going to pay for it. You know, trying to give us the comedy through Danny. So then, we get the scene. I thought this scene was way, super random. It came out of nowhere. So Zach, he goes to see Gary, and he, of course, he's irritated because Gary's been ignoring his calls. Tells Gary that he needs his money back. And I'm like, oh, okay, at least he ain't trying to invest more money. But unfortunately, Zach, that money's gone. That money's gone, my G. So Gary tells him, I was surprised Gary was honest. He was like, I'm not in a position to do that right now because your money's in lockup right now. And again, I'm just like, how did Zach not know that Gary's being investigated? So Zach's like, so Zach's not taking no for an answer. He's like, oh, you need to run me my money today. And Gary's like, or what? Then Zach punches Gary in the face. I just thought this whole scene was like out of nowhere, like totally left field. So Zach punches Gary in the face and says, don't play with me, I will kill you, to Gary. And then Gary pulls out a gun. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So Gary pulls out a gun, sets it on the desk, says, you don't have the balls. Calls Zach a weak nigga, says he can't even control his own bitch. I guess they talking about Fatima. What is this in my head? Or is it just my head? It's not, what is it? I don't know. It must be in my dread. I do not like that. It's weird. Anyways, then where am I? Yeah, so Zach pulls out the gun, sets it on the desk, says that Zach don't got the balls to kill him. He's a weak nigga and can't control his own bitch. So Zach's like, oh, it's taking everything in me right now not to pick up this gun and shoot you. And yeah, he says, it's taking everything in me not to pick up this gun and shoot your stupid ass. So Gary's like, oh, I'll do it. And your kids will be a fatherless bastard like their dad. I'm just like, damn. So Zach, he picks up the gun, but he just takes the bullets out. And he's like, you're not even worth it. And as he's doing all that, Penelope comes in. So then Zach leaves. So Gary's like, oh, I don't have time right now, Penelope, to talk. And Penelope's like, well, we're going to make time. So then Pam, she goes to Andy's office, tells her about her new business venture that she wants to hire Andy. And Andy's like, well, I'm not that type of attorney. I can text you the info of an actual business attorney that I believe can help you. So then Maurice, he calls Sabrina because, of course, he's been waiting to hear if she got the position so he could possibly get his job back. So he calls and it's like, did you get the branch manager position? And Sabrina's telling him, like, I may have actually lost my job altogether because I gave India a piece of my mind. And then she tells him that India told her that a coworker was concerned about her leadership. And, of course, Maurice just knows it was Paige. Tells Sabrina, oh, don't worry, it's going to work out. And then tells Sabrina about, then he tells Sabrina he's getting ready for another date with Grayson. And then another, thing, so this next thing, Zach, he gets home and Fatima's there. She done cooked him a meal for him. And I'm just like, what happened to you getting home late or something like that you told him before you left? But now you there waiting with a meal for him. Even Zach was suspicious, like what's going on? I was like, well, did you lie and say you was gonna be home late just so you could rush home and make dinner and surprise him? I guess, whatever. So Fatima, she asked Zach like, what's wrong? Zach tells Fatima that he went to go see Gary because he invested some money with Gary. And of course, Fatima is shocked, confused, upset. She's like, why would you deal with him? So Zach tells Fatima, like, it was when I first got money and I didn't know nothing. I didn't know no better. He said that he went there to pull out of his investments. And when Gary said no, he lost it. So Fatima's like, well, what did you do, Zach? So Zach's like, oh, I ain't do nothing. Gary the one pulled the gun out on me. And notice how when Zach said that, Zach was like, Gary pulled the gun out on me. Fatima didn't even flinch or be like, gun. She's too used to that life. She did not even, the word gun didn't even make a correlation to her. She was just like, so Fatima's like, oh, you can't be doing that. Tell Zach you can't be doing that. Zach's like, I know, I know I gotta do better for our family. That's why I didn't do nothing. He didn't even tell her about him punching Gary in the face. So Fatima asked Zach, like, you want me to get my cousin on Gary? Mad him. And Zach's like, oh, no, I got to get my money back first, but Gary going to get what's coming to him. So we can just say Karen, she's getting ready to leave the salon, lock up or whatever. Trey comes in and startles her, forcing her to pull out her mace. Why didn't you pull out your gun? You got a whole gun, Karen. Why not pull the dog out? But anyway, she pulls her mace out, almost about to spray him. I'm just like, girl, all you had to do was look up. Like, it was just too much. The movement was too slow for me. Like, he would have got her ass before she got to that mace. I'm sorry to say. It was just like, what? So Trey's like, oh, I'm so sorry to startle you, da-da-da. Tells her he found the box it is in the back of his truck and decided to drop it off. But as you can see, they was about to close. So what would you have did if you got there and it was closed? Like, it's so weird. So Trey tells Karen, like, oh, you should put some cameras up in here. And Karen's like, I got a box of cameras somewhere around here. The guy was supposed to put them up. I think she was referring to Zach or whatever. And Trey's like, oh, well, I can put them up. And Karen's like, no, it's fine. I'll hire someone. And Trey's like, you don't trust people easily. He's like, I'm telling you, I will put them up. And Karen's like, okay. So then we get this scene, Grayson and Maurice, they're on a date, but this time they're at the place where I think they met. Well, they met on the little fetish site, but they met in person at that place, I think, where Maurice's little friend works at. I never got the name of Maurice's white friend that works at that place. I never got his name. If you know his name, put it in the comments, please. So Maurice asks Grayson, like you seem like such a good guy. Why are you still single? Grayson says because he's been burned before. He don't want to just jump right into another relationship. He says that he might make an exception for the right one. So then some guy, he comes over and he's starstruck over Maurice, and he says that he saw Maurice's live stream just last night. But I think he told Grayson he was going to stop for a little while. So this probably catches Grayson off guard. And Maurice is trying to because the dude, he trying to ask for a picture with Maurice. And Maurice, in his Maurice fashion, he trying to get the dude to go away. He sends him away. So then we get these two back and forth scenes. The scenes go back and forth between Andy, Sabrina, and Danny at Sabrina's place. And then Tony, Rich, and Jordan, they met up somewhere and they playing poker. So Sabrina, she tells them, I'm not drinking because, I started the IVF. It's a part of the process. Then we get Danny telling the girls that she met Tony's kids officially this time. And that they hustled her out of her necklace and some baseball tickets. And then we cut away to Tony and the fellas, and he telling them the same thing, like Danny met the kids. And I'm like, okay, Rich was there, but whatever. Tells them that she's actually taking them to the baseball game. I thought that was a surprise. I didn't think that was going to happen. Then Rich, of course, brings up the fact that Tony's daughter hustled Danny out of her necklace. He's like, that's why I'm going to remain an uncle. We're like, we know, nigga. Sabrina just the only one that don't know. So then Andy, we go back to the girls, and Andy tells the girls that Jordan told her that he loved her. They cut away to Jordan telling the guys that he told Andy he loved her. They cut away back to Andy telling the girls, I think I love him too, but I didn't say it back. They cut away to Jordan telling the guys she didn't say it back. Tony and Rich say in unison, damn. They both like, damn. So then Jordan tells Tony and Rich they need to make sure they're doing right by Sabrina and Danny so he won't have to hear about it from Andy. And Tony's like, well, Danny knows that I'm a dad, so I'm going to be more careful about who I get serious with. And Rich is like, well, yeah, even though me and Sabrina are on different paths, I'm like, very different. He's like, I feel like she gets me. I'm just like, y'all know y'all on different paths and y'all just going to keep continuing with this relationship. Go, okay. So then Karen arrives, and she's complaining about this little mid-ass charcuterie board that Sabrina got. She's like, really? For me, and I'm pregnant? She's like, we about to order some food. Then they cut away back to Maurice, and he's complaining to his friend about his date being a bust, basically. And he's like, I'm gonna send Grayson a dick pic, and then realizes he accidentally sent it to his mom. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So then back with the ladies, Danny tells them that her therapist told her that she's seeing improvement in her, and the ladies are like, oh, we're proud of you, Danny. Karen's like, it feels like we're all on different journeys now. Oh, that's what I meant to bring up in my last review. I forgot to bring it up in my last review because I wanted to wait until the end, but now I'm just going to bring it up. You notice how Karen never told the girls, or Zach, or her mom, or anyone for that matter, that the twins was in two different sacks. Because you know what they would think. Because they would think, one, why she ain't been tell them this. That's gonna make her look even more guilty. And two, that's gonna make them think like one baby is Zach's and one baby is Aaron's. But yeah, I meant to bring that up. She never told them about the two sack situation. She just told everybody she was having twins, but she never mentioned that they was in separate sacks. She didn't even tell her mom that. So Sabrina tells the girls like I let India have it today. I may have lost my job. The girls, they start giving an applause for unapologetic Sabrina. So then Karen's like, oh, I gotta go. I got a doctor's appointment in the morning. And the ladies are like, what's wrong? And Karen's like, oh, nothing. They just want me to come in. Then we go back to Gary and Penelope. And Gary's telling Penelope, I don't have the time to talk right now. Tells Penelope, you need to go home. We'll talk later. So then Penelope, she pulls out the picture of Gary's high school sweetheart and says her name. Then we get this little scene where Jordan calls Andy, and Andy's like, oh, I'm on my way to your place. And Jordan's like, oh, you can't get enough of me, huh? You know, little back and forth, whatever. Then we get the final scene where back with Gary and Penelope. Gary balls the picture up. He's like, well, what are you doing with this? Penelope's like, well, what happened to her, and what did you do to her, to the girl that he was in high school with? So Gary says, oh, well, she went missing, and I had nothing to do with it. So Penelope's like, well, would her parents say the same? And Gary's like, who told you to go snooping on info on me? And tells her she need to be careful because he's not the man that she should be messing with. He's not the man to be messing with. She says again, I had nothing to do with her disappearance. And Penelope says, I don't believe you. Gary's like, I don't give a fuck what you believe, and then tells her to get out of his office before he does something that... He says, before you make me do something that I may not regret. Ain't it supposed to be before you make me do something I may regret? But he said may not regret. I don't know if he meant to say that or not. So Penelope's like, well, or what? What you gonna do? You gonna do to me what you did to her? So then Gary gets up, he walks over to Penelope, he grabs her up. Penelope's like, let me go, I'm going to the cops. And then Gary throws Penelope on the floor. She starts screaming in agonizing pain, holding her stomach. And that's how the episode ends. Like I said, it was a mid-ass episode. I would still give it a C+. Because it's like they making Gary more and more crazy. We knew this nigga was a wild nigga, but it's just like they making him more and more of a wild nigga. It's weird. But what was I about to say? I mean, of course, we don't wish miscarriage or loss of a child on anyone. But if Penelope does lose this child, she dodged a bullet. She dodged a bullet. If she loses the child, she dodged a bullet from Gary. And I'm not saying that's what we would wish on a woman, but she dodged a bullet. But it's also like Andy told your ass that she was going to move you somewhere to where he couldn't get access to you, and you and your baby would have been safe. But now it's possible that your baby is gone. Cause when I saw the preview for this episode last week, I was like, why the hell did she go to him? Like, she's still in that phase that Andy was in, where she would just believe all his antics, and cause she still love him and all that. That's why I feel like Penelope still is with him. And like I said, I think that when Karen goes to the doctors, I think they're gonna tell her that she got 2 different baby fathers. That's what I think it's gonna be about. What else? Yeah, hopefully Gary didn't kill her, because we saw that he had a cleaning crew come to take care of something. I don't know if it was her body or the blood or whatever. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I think that's it. The fact that we're still waiting to find out who Karen's baby daddy is, it's just aggy at this point. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Thanks for watching this review. Comment below what you thought of the episode, what you would grade this week's episode. If I forgot anything or was off on anything particular, let me know in the comments. And like this video, subscribe to my channel, because I don't only review Sisters. I review lots of other shows as well. Some shows on random. Got a couple covers and freestyle. You know what? Check out my channel. Just check out my channel. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button to support. I am almost at 100 subscribers. Just hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you want to support. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss out when I post. And again, thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in the next review. Peace.